Welcome to Hollywood Latest Reports. It was a Sunday morning that began like any other at Family Worship Center in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, filled with praise, music, and an atmosphere of faith that seemed to touch every soul in the room. But no one expected what would unfold that day. 2 days ago, during a live service, Tara Montpetit, beloved singer of the Swaggart Ministries, experienced a moment so heart-touching that it brought tears to everyone watching both in the church and online. It wasn't planned, it wasn't rehearsed. It was something pure, innocent, and absolutely beautiful. As the worship team began to sing "He's Been Faithful," Tara's voice filled the sanctuary. Her presence was gentle yet powerful, and her emotion poured through every word. But amid the singing and worship, something unexpected happened. From the crowd, a little girl, no more than 7 or 8 years old, suddenly ran toward the stage. Security and ushers froze for a second, unsure what to do. But before anyone could react, Tara turned her head, saw the little girl running with open arms, and immediately knelt down with a warm, motherly smile. The child threw her tiny arms around Tara's neck, hugging her tightly as if she'd known her all her life. For a few moments, the music softened, and the entire church fell silent. The live camera, streaming to thousands of viewers around the world, focused on the scene. Tara holding the girl close, whispering softly into her ear, her eyes glistening with tears. The audience could see emotion written all over Tara's face. She later shared that the girl had lost her mother a few months earlier and had been struggling emotionally. Her grandmother had brought her to the church that day, hoping she'd find comfort through worship. Tara said she felt something divine when she saw the girl running toward her. "It wasn't just a child running to hug me," she said later in an emotional statement. "It was God's love reaching out in the purest form." Those words alone melted hearts across social media as clips of the moment spread rapidly, gaining millions of views in just hours. The hug lasted only a few seconds, but the impact it left was immeasurable. When Tara continued to sing after the embrace, her voice broke slightly, filled with raw emotion. The congregation stood to their feet, clapping and crying, many raising their hands in worship. It wasn't just another Sunday service anymore. It was a reminder of the love and tenderness that still exists in a world often filled with noise, chaos, and division. Later that evening, the official Sun Life Broadcasting Network shared a short video of the moment with the caption, "Love has no language, faith has no limits." This moment with Tara Montpetit reminds us what true worship looks like. The post exploded with comments. Fans from all around the world, from the US, Brazil, the Philippines, and South Africa, shared how deeply the moment touched them. One wrote, "I couldn't stop crying. The way Tara held that child felt like watching Jesus' love in action." Another said, "That little girl didn't just hug Tara, she hugged hope." Tara, who is known for her humility and warmth, shared later that she had met the child and her grandmother backstage after the service. The girl's name was Lily. When Tara hugged her again, the child said, "You sing like my mommy used to sing." That sentence broke Tara's heart, and everyone who heard it. She gently held the little girl's face and said, "Then I'll keep singing for both of you." That moment, according to the people present, felt sacred. Many said the atmosphere was unlike anything they had ever experienced. Peaceful, divine, and filled with love. Even Pastor Gabriel Swaggart, who was leading the service, mentioned it the next day. "It's moments like these that remind us why we do what we do. Sometimes a single hug can preach louder than 1,000 sermons." In the following days, the story spread across Christian news outlets, blogs, and even mainstream platforms. The video clip was reshared by hundreds of worship pages on Instagram and TikTok with captions like, "The most beautiful moment of worship you'll ever see," and "Faith through the eyes of a child." It reminded everyone of the simplicity and depth of love in God's presence. Tara herself didn't expect the moment to go viral. In a heartfelt live session 2 days later, she said, "I didn't know anyone was recording. It wasn't for attention." That little girl reminded me what true worship is. It's not performance, it's love. It's coming to Jesus the way she came to me, with open arms. Her voice trembled as she spoke, and thousands of fans filled the live chat with hearts and prayers. Even members of the worship team were deeply moved. Joseph Larson shared a small reflection on Instagram stories saying, "I saw Tara's eyes when she hugged that child. It was pure love. Sometimes the Spirit speaks through gestures, not words." Grace Brumley, too, commented under a fan post, writing, "Heaven touched earth in that hug." The girl's grandmother later wrote to the ministry, saying that Lily had not smiled properly since her mother's passing. But that day, after hugging Tara, she smiled for the first time in months. The message was read aloud by Tara during the following Sunday service, and the entire congregation stood and applauded. "That hug changed both of us," Tara said tearfully. "Sometimes God sends us reminders in tiny packages, like Lily." As the video continued to circulate, fans began tagging Tara with messages of gratitude. Many shared their own stories of loss and healing, saying that the moment helped them reconnect with their faith. One woman commented, "I was ready to give up on everything, but after watching this, I prayed for the first time in years." Another wrote, "I lost my daughter 3 years ago, and seeing Tara hug that little girl made me feel like my child was being hugged through her." The ripple effect of that one hug became something greater than anyone expected. It wasn't about fame, attention, or emotion. It was about love manifesting in the simplest way possible. It reminded everyone that faith doesn't always come through grand miracles or powerful speeches. Sometimes it comes through a quiet embrace that tells a hurting soul, "You are loved, you are seen, you are not alone." In the following week, the ministry announced that they had invited Lily and her grandmother to visit again. Tara shared pictures of their reunion, the two smiling together, holding hands and singing a few lines of "Jesus Loves Me." Fans flooded the comment section with love, saying it was one of the most heartwarming things they'd seen in years. As of today, the video of the moment has surpassed 5 million views across platforms, and countless hearts continue to be touched. It's more than just a viral clip. It's a testament to the power of compassion, the innocence of a child's heart, and the beauty of faith that binds us all together. And perhaps that's what makes this story so unforgettable, because in that single, spontaneous moment, when a little girl ran to hug Tara Montpetit, heaven seemed to pause for just a second, reminding the world that love in its truest form still exists. The story didn't end there. In fact, what happened after that day became even more touching. When the service ended, many church members approached Tara to express how deeply they were moved by what they had witnessed. Some were crying, some were smiling through tears, and others stood quietly, as if they had just witnessed something sacred. Tara hugged nearly everyone who came up to her, and each time she said softly, "That hug wasn't from me, it was from Jesus." Those words alone carried a depth of love that lingered in the air long after the lights dimmed. Later that evening, Tara shared a few behind-the-scenes photos on her social media. One showed her sitting beside little Lily, who was holding a small white flower in her hand. The caption read, "Sometimes God sends us angels with tiny hands and big hearts." Within hours, the post went viral again, reaching over 500,000 likes and thousands of comments. People from around the world began sharing stories of how Tara's music and ministry had touched their lives. But the most beautiful part came 2 days later when Lily's grandmother shared a small update. She said that since that Sunday, Lily had started singing again. Her mother used to sing gospel hymns at home every night before bed, and after her passing, Lily had completely stopped singing. She wouldn't even hum. But after that emotional moment with Tara, she began softly singing "He's Been Faithful" around the house. The grandmother said, "It's like she found her voice again, or maybe God gave it back to her." Tara read that message during a live stream, her eyes full of tears. "That's the greatest gift I could ever receive," she said. "If my voice helped bring one little girl closer to peace again, that's all that matters." Fans flooded the comment section with messages like, "You're truly the heart of this ministry, and you remind us what love in action looks like." As more people heard about the story, even Christian radio hosts began discussing it. On one morning show, the host said, "We've seen thousands of church moments go viral, but what made this one different was its purity. There was no performance, no drama, just a hug that came straight from heaven." Another added, "It's rare to see something so real in a world full of filters and pretense." Tara Montpetit gave us a glimpse of what God's love looks like in human form. The moment even touched many who weren't regular churchgoers. Some viewers said they didn't usually watch religious content, but this clip appeared on their feed, and it made them cry. One woman from London commented, "I'm not a Christian, but I felt something powerful watching this. That little girl's hug broke something in me, in a good way. It was proof that love transcends boundaries, faiths, and beliefs." In a small interview the following week, Tara was asked how she managed to stay composed during such an emotional experience. She smiled and replied, "I didn't. I felt every emotion at once: joy, sorrow, peace, and love. That's what happens when God moves in a room. You don't plan it, you just surrender to it." Her humility resonated with everyone who heard her speak. That same week, Family Worship Center received hundreds of letters, cards, and drawings from children inspired by the story. Many of them drew pictures of Tara singing, holding hands with a little girl. Some wrote short notes like, "You sing like an angel," or "I want to hug Jesus like that girl hugged you." Tara had all those cards placed in her dressing room, reminders of how even a small act of love can echo through countless hearts. Gabriel Swaggart also mentioned the moment again during a sermon. "We often think God moves only through miracles or powerful preaching," he said, "but sometimes he moves through something as simple as a child's embrace. That's the gospel, that's love." His words were met with thunderous applause from the congregation, and even people watching online said they felt chills. Soon after, the ministry decided to turn the clip into part of a special feature called Moments of Grace, a short series highlighting real-life moments of divine love captured during services. The first episode, titled "The Hug That Touched Heaven," featured behind-the-scenes interviews with Tara, the worship team, and Lily's grandmother. It aired on Sun Life Broadcasting Network and became one of their most viewed segments of the year. When the program ended, Tara once again addressed viewers, her tone soft and emotional. "Sometimes life feels heavy. Sometimes it feels like you've lost everything. But then God reminds you, you're never truly alone."